Hello, hello, and welcome to a vintage story thing. It's been too long since I've been in this world, but we have a lot to get done today. I'm planning on finally doing some prospecting. That's right, we've had this prospecting pick. Wait, is this a prospecting pick? No. Where's my prospecting pick? There it is. We've had this copper prospecting pick for I don't even know how long, and we've barely used the thing. We've only done node search, and there are two modes. There's also density search mode, which is what we'll be getting into today. Oh, and it is just getting brighter, so I think it's probably a good time for us to head out. I'm planning on also getting a bunch of copper. We have a ton of copper nodes marked all up here. I'm planning on doing a bunch of prospecting up on this northern landmass to the north of our base. We're down here, and this is where we were in that first episode, all along this kind of mountain ridge line along here. So we're going to be returning to that and hitting up a lot of those copper deposits. Even once we have iron, which that's the goal for the day, we'll still want to use copper mostly for lanterns. There's like chutes, there's some other utility things. The still for distillation needs to be made out of copper, but we'll be getting to all that later. The point is, it's good to have on hand, and we only have 2 tin bronze ingots left at the moment, ready to use, and we do not have enough cassiterite rather, to make more tin bronze. We have plenty of copper, but we might as well pick some up since we're going up there anyway. And our inventory is pretty sorted. I'm going to make another turnip pie for us so that we have a bunch of slices ready to go. And since we are about to be hungry, so let's grab a bunch of rye. And in case anyone has forgotten what I'm doing, I hold right click, press escape, release right click, and then hit escape again to back out of the menu, but the input of holding right click on the quern remains. Your mouse is like constantly right clicking though, so just kind of take your hand off of it, and when you want it to stop, you right click again. And I'll skip through this so you don't have to hear me honking the whole time. There is some actual automation in the game. There's a windmill we can make that we can plug directly into the top of the quern, or the bottom, but I'm honestly still figuring out exactly what I want out of the flax fibers that we have. We've only got 4 stacks plus 6, so we do not have as much as I'd really like. Now I'm gonna light this oven up proper. There are currently 6 logs of firewood in there, and that is... I'm actually gonna eat something so I stop honking. All right. And that is because I'm planning on making all of this rye dough into bread, not just pie. Pie is great and all, but bread also has a really strong shelf life, and I made a ton of flour, I might as well use it. Dough is extremely perishable. The dough itself does not stay fresh very long, though if you char your bread, you can conserve it, you can keep it fresh for a rather long time. I'm not going to char these. I'm going to be doing a lot of running around over the next like day 2, maybe 3 we'll be spending up there. So we'll be burning a lot of calories because of all that movement. So I just want to have a bunch of loaves of bread on me. All right, that's done. I'm going to throw the pie in first and prepare another one. I think I want to make 2 pies. And then the other 8 pieces of dough I'll just make into bread. Forget if you can do 4 or 6 at a time in the oven. I guess we'll find out. And while I'm watching this pie rise, I have a traditional mug of tea here ready to go. This is Mandarin ginger, and I like both of those words, but I also like some of the words on the back here, such as lemongrass, licorice root, and turmeric root. That's a good mix. And do you see the mug I'm drinking this out of? Perfect. Oh, the pie's done. Pull that out, put the next one in. Now I will enjoy a sip of my tea. Just smelling it, I'm actually getting a lot of the turmeric and the lemongrass. The citrus and ginger aren't really coming out of the aroma. Oh, the ginger is very forward in the taste, though. That's good. All right, well, that pie's finishing up. Let's get this one cut so it can fit into our inventory. Oh, it won't oh, this one's turnip. I thought it was parsnip. I will put the turnip pie on my hotbar, so I go through that first. Oh, and is this done? Yes. And now that's stacked because it is the same ingredient. Oh, that's on me. Ah, look at that. It is only 4 at a time. Okay, well, I happen to have a multiple of 4 for my dough. And bread works pretty much exactly the same way that pie does. It goes through raw, part-baked, fully baked, and then charred. And just like pie, it also rises. And you can see them all puffing up individually. It's very cute. There they go. This tea's actually a little bit warm for me still. There's a bunch of things listed in here that should have citrus going on. I'm definitely getting the lemongrass. Oh, bread's done. Put those in. And bread, we don't have to slice or anything. We can just eat it, which is great. It's fresh for 8 days, and the cooked pie is also fresh for 8 days, so that's pretty much the same. The pie is much higher in nutrients. You can see that the bread is 300 satiation, 300 calories of grain, and the pie, just one slice, is 300 satiation or calories of vegetable, and then 240 of grain. So you get additional 240, and there's more nutrient variety in there. I need to make a bunch of ladders. Here we go. We have 8 loaves of rye bread and 8 slices of parsnip pie, I think. Oh, and we have these 2 slices of turnip pie as well. I think that's a pretty good mix. Oh, the bloomeries are all done. No. I was just trying to think if I want to break these all down and get them started with a new thing, but no, I really want to get out. Well, it's still a little bit bright. It's already 1 in the afternoon. Okay. I have all the tools that I'm gonna need. Yeah. Oh. Let's bring our rusty gears, because I know that there's a trader or 2 along the way, and we might as well be prepared. You know what? I am going to take down all of the torches, because we might not be back in... That torch is dead to me now. We might not be back in 48 hours, so might as well bite the bullet and save the torches. Also, there's a bunch of little things I want to do around the base. So many, like, little things that I want to adjust. Move walls by a single block, that kind of thing. I want to get water up here, like a water source. Just filling a barrel and using it out of that won't... That's gonna get real annoying over time. That's not gonna cut it. Alright, and with that, let's be off. We're heading off to the northern reaches, and actually our first stop is gonna be this one. I am real excited to get into iron though, so that I can finally start spending some metal on chiseling and not feel too bad about it. Decorative chiseling. Even the tin bronze, and I have like, I think plus like 20% tool durability, something like that. Even with that, tin bronze just, oh, it disappears too quickly. Maybe I should have brought the shovel. Oh no, it's coming up on 4 in the afternoon, so it's getting dark. Spent too much time at home. That was kinda always guaranteed to happen, wasn't it? Oh, look at that little ruin there. I remember that. Alright, now this is the one that in the first or second episode, we were able to see the copper from the underside of this formation here. And then we found a couple pieces on top here, but we must have picked them up. Alright, I think I'm in the right place, so I'm just gonna start using the pickaxe. There it is. Oh, it's poor quality. Well, still, it's copper. No! Well, I guess I'm following them after. I know it's poor quality, but there's a decent bit of it. Okay, so they fell directly down. That's a rabbit. I think that rabbit is even alive. Hold on. Okay, that changes things. It is alive. Time for us to get a rabbit. Where did the bunny go? Well, now I am soaking wet and I have no rabbit. Wait, that's another one. Got it. Ooh. And that is why I've been carrying these traps around. So these traps from the mod do not have the 24-hour limitation on them, and you don't need to carry them in the sack slots, which I don't actually love. But I am just going to turn right around and drop this guy off, because I like the 24-hour limitation, personally. So I'm going to pretend that I have to deal with it. Oh, look at Coppersburg. Still a little bit lit up. I see where I forgot one torch. It's actually out this side entrance here. Oh. I don't think there's any other torches that'll extinguish left. Rabbit. Okay, what is our current rabbit? You are female. And you break the block to release. And I'll put you there. And what are you? Female. Darn. Alright, so we are still in the market for a bunny. Gotta have one of each to make more bunnies. But like, I'll take that for now. For no particularly good reason, I want to expand this little pass here. I might eventually come through and like lower this so that it stands out a bit more and make it a bit more obvious and make this the like designated path out of our little valley to the north. Because right now we don't have one, and I keep taking different routes every time, and it's a little weird. That's another rabbit. Did it? Oh, that doesn't bode too well. Yeah, I don't think that rabbit made it. Okay, that's unfortunate. I feel like that might have said male too. I think the first thing I want to do is actually head up the trader, or go over towards the trader, and start from the west, work our way to the east along here. In fact, something else I'd like to do while we're out over to the west is picking up some chalk so that we can perhaps finally start processing the handful of hides that we have into leather. Oh, this is a survival goods trader up here. Been a while since we've been up this way. Oh, this is Sprig. I remember Sprig. What do you got to trade? Leather bracers. Linen sack, that's right, we did get a bunch of linen sacks. No, I could sell all of our rye bread for 1 gear, but that is definitely not worth it. Could actually sell all of our charcoal, but it would only be 3 gears. That doesn't seem good enough. And look at this. We could buy some lime, but we're actually off to go get chalk. But if you are in need of lime, You can in fact buy some from survival goods traders. It's getting a little chilly out here. Ah, look at that. Here's the cairn that I left earlier. But let's get down there. And I'm going to use a new thing we've got, which is a rope ladder. I'm going to shift click to place it. I'll click on the bottom half of that block. And I'm going to cover this up with the dirt so that we stop freezing. Where is the copper? Small amounts of copper and trace amounts of flint. Well, copper is in here somewhere then. Oh, there it is. Looks like there's probably not much down here though. It is, however, of rich quality, so it's got that going for it. Alright, I feel pretty confident that we've gotten the vast majority of the copper down here. Now I'm going to switch over to our prospecting pick. Switch us over to density search mode. Now this one's a little bit more complicated, but it will tell us what is in this area, in this chunk, kind of. The exact details of this are weird. Just hold on, it'll make sense. So we have our density search mode selected. I'm going to break this block here. And we get a text message saying, okay, need 2 more samples. So we need to take 2 more samples by breaking blocks. And those samples need to be, I believe it's 4 blocks away. I could be misremembering that number. But one over here is going to be plenty far enough away. Oh, that broke into a cave. Well, I guess I'll take a look down that in a moment. And so is that block? Yeah, this one should be fine. Yeah, actually, I'll go for this one, a little bit further away. Here we go. In chat, we have a readout of the traces of ore that have been found in this area. So we have very poor bismuthinite, very poor ilmenite, and minuscule amounts of lignite, galena, hematite, magnetite, and halite. Halite is salt. Hematite and magnetite are both iron. Galena is silver, I believe, right? Oh, lead. Galena is lead. Lignite is brown coal. And ilmenite is titanium, which you can't actually use pure titanium to do anything, though crushed ilmenite is used for tier 3 refractory bricks, which is way down the tech tree for us. We're not going to be dealing with that for a while. I believe actually you need steel in order to break ilmenite ore blocks. So that's going to be in a while yet. Bismuthinite obviously is bismuth, which can be used for bronze. These are not great readings. I do like having these around though. And how these work, we'll get into in a moment, because that isn't the full story yet. Now I need to get out of here. Oh, that's right. I was gonna look in this cave that we opened. Oh, that's... I thought that was halite for a second. I was real excited. Okay, so this is just one of these bottomless pits. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that. Now, the real benefit of rope ladders is if I believe for me it's control click, I can pull it back up. So for these like single drop mining holes, mining pits, I really like having rope ladders around because I only need, what is this, like a half of a stack? And that's going to see me through most of the surface deposits. For anything deeper or more permanent, then yeah, I'll want to go ahead and put in proper ladders, which is why I have these for if we do find the ore vein where we'll be getting most of our iron from. For probably most of the playthrough, iron spawns and... I heard a weird clicking sound. Iron spawns in very large deposits, so... Now there's some things that have already happened as far as the prospecting pick is concerned, but I'm not going to go into them until a little bit from now, because it's not really useful until some of that data that we're collecting accumulates, and you'll see what I mean. We're going to hit a few more of these copper deposits, And there's more efficient ways of doing this, of doing the prospecting. But right now I'm just getting a very, very broad overview using locations that I'm heading to anyway. The point is not for me to scour the landmass and find absolutely everything yet. Oh, I think I remember this deposit. Ooh, quartz too. Okay. So, alright. Copper, let's go. And I guess I need to bring stuff to throw up a fire pit, don't I? Alright, now I'm still in density search mode. Oh, there's a bit more copper here. I will hit... I think we have enough room. I'll hit this block. We need 2 more samples. Oh, and I uncovered some copper. Nice. I'll hit this block. This should be far enough away. 1 more. And I'll get this one behind the ladder. Very poor cassiterite, minuscule sphalerite. Not great. Let's finish getting this copper though. There was like another... Was it just like really big? Did I not get it all? Hold on, let me try a node search. To the south, so I'll hit node search in this corner. Because the node search reports if an ore or whatever, large amounts of copper. Okay, so I should run in that direction. It detects if there's any resources within, by default, 6 blocks, though I believe I have it set to 8 in this world. I'm gonna do another one. Still says large. Okay, so we're not getting further. Medium in that direction, so that's not the right way to go. Also, I know I'm taking damage from freezing, but like, I'm warming up. That's just annoying. Large amounts in that direction, and medium in that direction. Okay. That says large. Medium, okay. Have I just like gone around it? Large. Where is this? Here. And it's only poor quality. Oh no, that means it isn't gonna stack either. It's quartz. We have a bunch of quartz and we know how to get more. We know where to get more, rather. Alright, so we don't have much in the way of remaining durability on this pickaxe. Yeah, we have 30. We do have more tin bronze at home, so that's obviously what I'm going to be doing. Something that I really want to get is some chalk. And I remember that there's a bunch of it on this island. This was our spawn island. Ooh, resin. 2 pieces of resin even. That's fantastic. We need a lot of resin. I'm genuinely pretty excited about having a resin tree that close to home. I didn't even realize we had a pine forest over here. So that's a very nice find. Yes, that is Spawn Island. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take a swim over there and get real cold. Alright, well, here goes. While I'm swimming over there, I wanted to take a moment and thank my supporters over on Patreon, currently listed on screen. Seriously, thank you guys so much. You go above and beyond every month to support the channel, both channels. It really means a lot to me. If you would like to see your name joining them, there is a link down in the description below if you are so inclined, and there's also a Blue Sky, Discord, etc., etc. you know the drill. All those links are down below. But your financial support is never required, but always appreciated. Thank you. Okay, I'm back on Spawn Island and very cold, as predicted. Let me figure out a little bit of space in our inventory by chucking some stuff and get some grass so we can start a fire. Oh, we need an axe too. Oh no, I do not have an axe. I know I can just make one with flint, but like, that's annoying that I didn't grab one. I think we have like 3 or 4 axes at home. Axes and shovels, those are the ones that I really just accumulate a ton of over time. Ooh, more resin. Nice. Chicken. Although, wait, it's a rooster that I need. I heard other clucking. Was one of them a rooster? Got the chicken? Wait. No, those are chickens. I heard a different sound over here just now. Could that have been the fabled rooster? Chickens are supposed to spawn with a rooster. It's like a rooster and a couple hens, maybe chicks depending on the time of year. So there should be a rooster somewhere on this island. Ugh. Bushmeat and some skins. I'll drop, yeah, that. I kind of hate to do, but also... There's another one. Oh, okay. It was a little bit more active than I would have liked, I dare say. Ooh, a piece of fat. These sticks. Fat is worth more than the sticks. Alright, that's where I spawned. The sand... Ah, this is the worst time to be trying to look for... There we go. There's the chalk sand. So there should be like actual chalk somewhere. Oh no, that's right down to granite. I mean, I guess I have to run with the sand then. What do I drop now? That. I'm gonna have to pan all of this sand to get the stones out of it. Oh, hey, there's clay here. I really wish that water did the Minecraft thing and like fixed this, because this looks terrible and I'm gonna have to come over here with a bucket just to fix this, because of course I'm going to. I shouldn't have to use a bucket to fill in the ocean because I scooped out a bit of sand. Like, there is a lot more sand here than I thought there was. Okay, that's a stack and I'm absolutely freezing. I'm gonna head home. Oh, this is chalk. Like actual chalk. Oh, well, that's the end of that. Is there even anything down here? No, there is more chalk though. So I think we have an actual chalk mine. That's good. And you know what? Before we leave, I'm gonna see if there's anything else worth knowing about in here. So I'm gonna grab our prospecting pick, make sure we're in density search. I'll just go right into this wall here. You can't go too far with the second and third samples. I don't remember exactly what the range is. I think you need to be like between 4 and 12 blocks away, something like that. So, You don't gotta go running all over the place. Just a little distance. Ooh. Minuscule amounts of hematite. I mean, it's something, I guess. And very poor bismuthinite. And a rusty gear. So not great readings on iron so far. A little unfortunate. It's alright, we'll keep looking. That's the point. The more bad readings we get, the better we'll be able to find the good places. It really does work out like that, though. That sounds very made up, but it's true. Alright, I'm gonna see about swimming back home. My tea grows colder. The turmeric is really coming through now. Gotta say though, this turkey mug, did you see the turkey mug? It's adorable. Not annoying to drink out of. Like at all. Quite reasonable. You know, sometimes these novelty or fun-shaped mugs are not very practical, but this one's pretty good. I am so excited to be back in this world and doing stuff. So, I have 2 channels, to anyone who doesn't know. And the first channel is all like scripted video essay stuff about games. Very different energy being scripted. But I got an idea for a video for that channel. I decided to try to make it reality, and I did. It's up. But boy, that was a lot of work, and it kept me away from this world, and I am itching to get back into it. I have a bunch of builds I want to make, a ton of progress, get an iron, all that good stuff. Lanterns, hopefully, please. Maybe a survival goods trader or agricultural supplies trader, so and we'll have some beeswax so we can make lanterns finally. That'd be great. Alright, finally out of the water, so we can have some light. Let's get home. Because I gotta drop some stuff off, including a chicken. 2 chickens? 1 chicken. And no roosters. Why did I swim this far south? Wow, okay. This is on, this is like Bear Beach over here. Remember? This is the clay that I wanted to tag, and then I got mauled by a bear. Oh. I was on like episode 2, I think? Oh no. I was holding control to crouch, and if you control Q, it throws all of the entire stack of whatever you're holding. Okay, I can't really see right now, but I just meant to throw down 1 torch. Oh, that was a little bit freaky. Right. Jump back over here, and I'm not gonna fall all the way down. Oh, there's a bunch of torches down there too. Time for our wooden ladders just halfway down. We go down to the second half. There we go, got all the torches. And actually, was there anything down here that's worth seeing? I'm gonna throw 1 this time. I'm not really seeing anything. Okay, back up. Oh. Oh! That's interesting. It put them on top of... I mean, it put them on top of the ladder. I guess it makes sense. Okay. Interesting. Need some of those back then. I did not think that it would count rope ladders as part of the ladder in terms of it's like auto stacking. Well, learn something new. Now I want to pick this ladder back up. Why am I not able to? Maybe that was stopping it? Yeah, there we go. This is pulling the ladder back up. So I guess because there were wooden ladders hanging off the bottom, it wouldn't let me pull up the bottom of the rope ladder. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think that's what was happening. Okay, let's let's get back home. Oh, look at that. You might be able to see the top of our tower all lit up. Ah, and that's the entrance to our basalt mine. Alright, let's stop shivering. First things first. Actual first things first, I need to sort out inventory space. Oh, hi. Oh, we lost one of our spears. I don't think it broke. I think it's just down in the cave. Oh, well. Here you go, chicken. Yep, no, friend is that way. Go on. No, you'll figure it out. There you go. So I need one slot of inventory space. I'm gonna throw this into the quern and I will deal with that later. Right now, I want heat. There we go. Alright. I'm not even concerned about getting any food going. We have plenty of food in our inventory. Not worried about it. Oh, wait, that's a rich crystallized chunk. I'll put it right there next to the other one. How about that? Nice. Now, over here in the quern, this chalk stone that we got a bunch of them, actually. Thankfully, we found that cave. So chalk, much like limestone, or exactly like limestone, will turn into lime when ground. So I'm going to do that trick again. Right-click, escape, release in the mouse, escape. And something that I like to do is just really quickly tap it over the bottom, and that opens the quern so that you can see the progress. And I'm just going to sit here for a while I warm up. Drink some tea. And there we are. So if I now access this, we can grab our lime out. And let me open the handbook on that. Lime in an oven bakes into quicklime. You have to use an oven for that? Did they change that? And the stones that you can get lime from are chalk, limestone, marble, and the two other colors of marble. And it can be used for a couple different things. One is for lime water, which can be used to make soaked hides that are part of the leatherworking process. This is the first step of leatherworking, is to soak your hides in lime water, which is just lime and water. Very simple. If you cook your lime, it then turns into quicklime, which can be used for, these are a couple mod things, but we also have plaster and slaked lime. Plaster is just a building block, though there's a couple different aesthetic variations of it. And you need quicklime and some kind of sand. I believe it's any kind. Slaked lime is 4 quicklime to 1 liter of water, and that is used to make mortar, which is slaked lime plus, again, sand. And mortar is used for various brick blocks and the like. We will be getting into some of these with refractory bricks, fire clay bricks. I believe it's fire clay bricks you use for the beehive kiln, which I would love to have. Now that was our only pickaxe, so let's go ahead and make another one. And we're going to have to really focus on specifically getting iron with this one. I don't want to have to make another pickaxe out of our last tin bronze ingot. I would like to get past tin bronze, but we have a ton of copper now. So much that we're arguably running out of storage for it. That's okay. I am unbothered, frankly. So something important to note for leatherworking is that pelts cannot be turned into leather. If you cure your raw hides, you cannot then turn them into leather, unfortunately. They must be raw hides of any size, and then you can make leather out of them. Alright, this is horrible and janky, but I really want to have water up here. So, yeah. I'll figure something better out eventually. For right now, that's what we've got. And I'm actually going to steal some of these barrels for starting our leatherworking. So let me fill these. All right, those all have 50 liters. Unfortunately, need some more stuff. I only say unfortunately because we We need more stuff because I forgot to grab it in the first place, but that's on me. So we need a couple pieces of oak. All right, so we're going to need 50 lime and then 15 logs. Let's head back over here to our makeshift tannery, which I am planning on having all of the tannery stuff in one place eventually. But let's take our barrel, drop 50 lime in. It immediately becomes 50 liters of lime water. Now this barrel, I'm going to take 5 oak logs and drop them right in there. And I will seal this because it has to sit for 24 hours. Now over here, I'm going to also take 5 logs, drop them in, and seal it up. And these last 5 logs actually go into this second barrel again. So this barrel will ultimately take 10 logs. So that is to make lime water. This will eventually be weak tannin. This will also turn into weak tannin, and then adding the 5 additional logs and sealing it for another 24 hours will give us strong tannin. And that will allow us to complete the leather making process. There's also a step in between the lime water and the tannins, but I'll go over that when we get there. The short of it is you have to scrape the hide with a knife. But let's take our... we only have 4 medium pelts, or medium rawhides rather. I'm gonna go ahead and drop those right into place, and this will consume some of the lime water. So I'll go ahead and seal that for 20 hours, and these have to be sealed for 24 hours, so they won't actually be done quite in time, but by the time I remember that I'm doing leather stuff, they'll probably be done, and I can drop the 5 more logs into the second barrel to make strong tannins. So for now, I'm going to come over to our chest here and just drop these oak logs off so they're ready to go for us when we get there. Oh no, I do have more rawhides. Well, unfortunately we can't unseal the barrel and slip these in. Oh well, we'll just have to come back here for them. Oh, that's a pelt. These are pelts. All right, these are all our rawhides. They're all fresh for quite a while, though we'll probably hit up the large ones first. I guess I'm going to turn all of this into leather, which is pretty neat. That's a lot of leather. Anyway, while this ingot is still heating up, I'm going to break down these bloomeries, put our glass away. $156 glass. It's not bad. We're gonna need a lot more though. Do I have any more? How much more quartz do we have? Do we have any non-clear quartz specifically? Oh, speaking of, put those potion vials away, and I'm gonna take the small and the medium with me. Just the medium. Oh, this is probably done. Yes. Let's grab our tongs offhand. Grab you. Plunk. And I wanted to make pickaxe. Where's the pickaxe? There it is. Oh, that took a while. Oh no. Looked away for too long. Charred my pie. That, unfortunately, is not going to stack now. But, a learning opportunity. So a turnip pie that is properly baked is fresh for 8 days, and one that is charred, fresh for 12 days. So you gain 50% additional shelf life. That's the word I'm looking for. 50% additional shelf life. Still pretty unfortunate though. I was hoping to just have like 16 pieces in my inventory for the next, was it 8 days? That might be a little bit much for 8 days. You know what? Whatever. No, because I probably go through like 3 or 4 in a day. Oh, another thing to pay attention to is look at the satiation that you get out of it. It is a pretty hefty hit. Yeah, not really optimal. And I think I'll just leave this here. I guess this will be my home pie. Fresh for 1.1 years because it's cold in here. That's pretty intense. Oh, we do have this wine though. We could use that to get our fruit satiation up. It doesn't give much, but it would give some. I'll think about that. Because we're not really hurting for the health that much right now. Oh, look at this snow. I don't know if we've gotten like proper, just peaceful snow that goes down. Like, it's so windy here so often. I don't know that we've ever actually just gotten like normal, gentle snow. Oh, you know what? Oh, you can't really see anything additional up here. I guess that makes sense because it's so dark. Oh, there's so many little alterations I want to make. Yeah. There's a lot of little things I want to tweak around the base. I would like to get a lot of those done in the next couple episodes. Maybe take some time kind of off camera to just do some things around the base, you know, maintenance, chore kind of stuff. Don't worry, I would catch you guys up on what I got done. How's our charcoal stores looking? Oh, we have a bunch of charcoal. Look at that. Oak seeds, maple seeds. Oh, there's the low fertility soil. I thought I had some down here. Oh, it's getting windy again. Figured that wouldn't last for too long. Alright, so we have 16 chunks of quartz. And I believe bloomeries are 24. So, not gonna start up a bloomery for glass right now. Oh, since we're going to be eating this pie over the next few days, because it's charred rather than trying to preserve it, which is a little bit backwards, but whatever, I tossed the food that was in my inventory into this storage vessel, which isn't even in the cellar or anything, but the bread, which again, not charred, fresh for 2 years. It is the middle of winter, so it is super cold, so that is definitely helping with its perish timer, but I thought that was pretty funny that I just dunked some bread in here. 2 years. This is going to be our traveling food. Probably I'll just grab the turnip pie and then rye bread for the next one, because we have more prospecting that I'd like to do. But it's the middle of the night. I'm not sure I want to head out right now. Well, since it's still so early and therefore dark, it's 4:30 in the morning in the middle of winter, I'm gonna try doing some of the base upgrades that I wanted to. One thing I'd like to do is swap out the roof, and I think I want this to be 4 deep on the interior. So I'm gonna blow this wall back by 1. And the main reason for that is it'll bring the charcoal pit in line with this wall here. So I should be able to get rid of this weird little protrusion, but I'd like to close this one up. Naturally, I've been horribly distracted by something else I've been wanting to do. I'm going to want to chisel out half of these blocks and extend the large slabs across them, but this will do for right now. But I really want to put barrels in here, and I'll fill these with water so that it looks like they have a barrel for drinking water out of, as well as the food troughs. And yes, this gate is currently open, so I have this one closed because I'm working in here. Look at that. It's almost like this design is working. I might extend this to be a double gate as well once I get this wall covered with the slabs, because then it'll be symmetrical and it'll mirror this. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Especially since this isn't sealing anyway. Alright, anyway, let's grab a bucket, get these filled up, and then it'll probably be bright enough to head out. Annoyingly, our water is quite far. It doesn't have to be, hold on. There we go. So those are both full of water. We'll get this opened up. Take my leave for the time being. Oh, actually. Okay, these are the ewes. I saw the horns and I thought they were male. Alright. Several days left before ready. And you are ready. Yeah, see, you're generation 1, so you'll make a generation 2. I'm gonna try milking you. Oh, I got some. And I didn't even get beat up for it. Already drank a liter, that's unfortunate. I will put this here, I guess. 9 liters of milk. Can I milk you again? No. It says lactating for 3 days, but it does not say the text that I can milk them right now. So maybe it refreshes tomorrow or in a few hours or what have you. But for now, we are done. And we have some milk, which is to say we have dairy. So we have 39.9 days here. If I open up our handbook, which does pause the game, we're not wasting too much daylight here. Search up some milk. What can we do with you? An ingredient for curdled milk, which is created with pickled vegetables and however much milk. So in order to make a pickled vegetable, though, you need, well, the vegetable and brine requires salt, which is halite. So we'll need to find halite out in the world or buy some from various traders. I believe there's 2 traders that can sell halite. Don't quote me on that exact number, but I think it's 2 of them. For now, I'm gonna leave the milk there because if we find halite while we're out and about doing our prospecting, we're gonna be doing some pickling of things. And I'm gonna try making cheese. For right now, however, let me clean up our inventory really quickly. Was that gate open? No. Let me fix that so that they can come in and get a drink of water. Which is not a mechanic. These will never decrease how much water is available, unfortunately. But, you know, it's thematically cute. And that's the point. Alright, it is nice and bright. Let's get out of here. We have more mining to do. I left our front door open. That's mildly terrifying. And I'm already freezing. Already shivering over here. We can hit that on our way back. We're gonna go for the trader and then we'll hit these 2. Oh, lead, that's right. Got that one with lead. And then we'll head east and start hitting up all of these other ones. There's even some ruins we haven't looked at. That's a rabbit. That is a rabbit trapped in a pit by the snow. Okay. Got him. Dark brown hair male. Ah, we have a male rabbit. But that's the best I can do for a dance. Sorry. Oh, I'm actually super excited though. Okay, so we're gonna cut all this grass that I've exposed. And we're gonna head back home to drop off this rabbit. I can already tell that one of the infrastructure projects I want to do is getting a proper road set up going over this hill. I think I mentioned that the last time I was coming over here. Oh yeah, I totally did, because I widened this gap here. Maybe I could build this up into looking kind of like a defensive wall coming right across from that hill over to like here. You know, not too high, maybe, well, I'm not sure how much higher that is than here. That might be like 10 meters. It wouldn't actually block anything, but I think it would look neat on this hill. We could have a big gatehouse right in the middle, and then you would come through the gatehouse. You'd be able to see Coppersburg coming over the hill on your way down the road. Yeah, I think that would be really cute. Especially with how hard it is to figure out where to go during this stretch. A road would be really nice, rather than navigating through this tangle every time. Alright, Mr. Rabbit. We'll put you down there. And now we break the cage. And look at that. We've got a male rabbit and 2 females. Very nice. Will, let's get these guys some food real quick. I don't remember how many portions they need. Let me run to the wiki and check that real quick. And warm up while I'm at it. A female will need to eat 2 portions before she can breed. So saith the wiki. So believe us all. We got a full stack of dry grass while we were doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and dunk that right into our storage. So rabbits can eat basically any vegetable. The one that we have the most of is turnips. So let me grab 6 of those because we have 3 rabbits. I'm gonna feed the male too because I'm not a monster. The really neat thing about rabbits is that you don't need a trough to feed them. They'll figure it out. Now let's see if we can finally get out of here. Love it here. We have a very cozy home, but we got stuff to do. Now that I've dawdled about so much, it's getting dark again. You can see the color temperature of the sunlight changing as it gets lower in the sky. Look at that. The colors are real pretty. I don't even have an OLED or anything. This is IPS? Oh man, my monitor's a little bit old. I don't remember exactly what the tech is. I do know that it's not doing so well these days. It's pretty egregiously out of gamut. It's much too bright. I have a color correction profile that I use on it, but that'll only last for so long before the panel is just gone, you know? Oh, is this woad? Nice, we need woad. Actually, I was just looking over our flower inventories, and we are in need of woad. So that's a nice little find. Woad can be turned into woad blue dye, which is a dye that does not require mordanting. We haven't really gone into how the dyeing process works or what mordant is, but not needing mordant makes a color much more achievable, especially this early on in the game when we don't have necessarily access to the things to make mordant out of, though I believe you can use tin. I think you can use cassiterite. Let me confirm that. Yes, you can make mordant out of crushed cassiterite, though that does require a pulverizer, which requires mechanization, which we have also not gotten into. We have most of the resources to start getting into it, though we're really lacking in resin and fat for the mechanical components. The resin, I believe, is being used as a binding agent to hold pieces of wood together, and the fat as grease, as a historically accurate lubricant. Oh, I hate that I'm doing this heading into night, but I'm also kind of keeping an eye out for black currants, because even though we'll need mordant to make use of it, at least in cloth, we can use black currants or blueberries to make purple dye. And I'm kind of a fan of purple. Oh, is this more copper? Yes, it is. Nice. Well, I'm just gonna go right into the side of this cliff then. I forgot to bring an axe. Well, I brought firewood at least, so there's that. Oh, it's rich too. Very nice. No, there's gonna be more than just the one piece though. Come on now. Don't do this to me. And even if we don't ultimately get that much out of here, rich is gonna add up fast. So this is a pretty exciting find. Well, this was a pretty weirdly shaped vein, but I think that's most of it. Kind of followed the shape of the hill here. But I'm going to switch to our prospecting pick, make sure we're in density search, and get a reading since we're down here. Minuscule amounts of halite and very poor native copper, which I think is actually our highest reading of native copper. But that reading of native copper is probably pointing to a deposit lower somewhere, and likely a much larger deposit. But I don't really have the spare pick durability to just go digging around at random, and especially not for copper. So we'll just tuck that reading into our back pocket and maybe come back later at some point. We ended up getting 39 rich chunks of native copper there. That is 25 units each. So 4 of these is an ingot. We got nearly 10 more ingots of copper out of that. It's not bad. It's not bad. Oh, and there's our copper. Alright, let's hit up these lead ore bits, which should be just a ways over here. Oh, that was waypoint number 8. That last deposit of copper. You've had that knowledge tucked away for a rainy day for some time. There they are. There's some more. Okay, this might be fairly large. Wait, is that? That's a lead ore already. How does this look in basalt? Oh. Well, that's nice and annoying to see. Oh, this is shale. I thought this was basalt still. Oh, and this is bountiful, I just realized. Well, that's nice. Oh, there's basalt and shale both right here next to each other. And they are extremely similar in color. Holy crap, wow. I guess that's why I thought it was basalt. Alright, let's go ahead and get another sample taken. Ooh, okay, so we have very poor bismuthinite, very poor halite, oh that's 2.53, and minuscule amounts of galena, ilmenite, and magnetite. Galena is the lead, and then ilmenite and magnetite are both iron ores. They are, however, minuscule amounts, so that's a little bit unfortunate. However, this halite at 2.53 is interesting. And this is a great opportunity to point out this is not 2.53%. See how there's an extra little circle on this percent sign? That is a per mil sign, which is not per million, it's per 1,000. Mil is French for 1,000, and English has a lot of loan French in it, unfortunately. So that is 2.53 per mil. It is, in theory, there are 2.53 blocks of halite per 1,000 blocks in the vertical column of this block, the first one that we broke, the first sample that we took. And I see more lead up here. And that is also only a probability. It is not a guarantee. There are not 2.5 blocks of halite per mil in that column for sure. This is what makes the prospecting system much less intuitive than it needs to be. You might think it's percent, but it's per mil. You might think that it's actual ratios, but it's probabilities. Like, it's not trying to cheat you out of anything. Wow. Wow, we have a lot of lead. There's nothing really to the north, at least marked on the map currently. So I'm gonna head over to these ruins. Maybe there's something interesting. Ooh, woad. Yeah, I got that excited over some flowers. I believe I need 20 for what I want to use them for. I am not seeing... Yeah, I'm not seeing a cracked vessel anywhere on the surface here. Oh, wait. Oh. I've already taken the cracked vessel on the surface here, so I'm moving on. Oh, this is one that I've been down in before. And did not adequately clear out. Okay. Oh. Well then. Okay, slight change of plans. Feel the effects of the healing oil. Okay, so the medium holds 2 portions, and the large holds 4. So the larges are definitely worth it. Like, they're the only one that's at all worth it. Okay. Let's grab this copper. First things first. Do what we came here for. This is, at least I will say, a relatively safe cave. There isn't really room right here for things to spawn while we're here, so that's good. they're throwing rocks at me, you jerks. I have no more healing. Yep, that's brown coal. 1 flax fiber. 2 flax fiber. Where do these keep coming from? How far does this go? Oh, there's a whole thing. Okay. I see. All right, we're back. I've gotten a bunch of woad and also a lot of cranberry bushes, which I was also collecting in my inventory. But let's get down here, get our stuff back, which was down this way. Yes. Oh no, there's a bow torn down there now. What? I'm just gonna charge him. No, come, let me pick up the thing. Oh no, it only gave me one of my spears. Yeah, get down there. Okay, where's my knife? You know what, this ladder and all these chunks of ladder, they can stay. We're getting out of here. I have decided. Okay, safety. Our inventory is a mess. Let's get home, drop some stuff off. Although, on my way, I found a couple rabbits. I'm gonna see if I can snag them. Moving on, it's already 1600 hours. It's gonna get dark pretty soon. Oh wow, I really have a lot of woad. Arguably too much woad. So I'm gonna get some more. There's a rabbit. One of them. I think there's 2 over here. Come here. Come here, bunny. I wanna get you. Nope. Not again. But why can I not hit this rabbit? There we go. Alright. Now the other one is already captive in the snow. There they are. Sort of captive. They can get out on this side, so I want to keep them over there. And let's see if I can do this before it gets too dark. Hey, bunny. Gotcha. Ooh, that was nice and quick. Now, let's see about getting home. There's another rabbit. Well, I don't have any more cages, so you get to go free. Good luck, little bunny. Good luck. Another infrastructure thing that I'd really like to make is a bridge. I'm kinda sick of going through the water here. I use this crossing a lot, and honestly, it kinda sucks. Like, there's gotta be a better way. There's that rock, which is almost in the middle. That's a lot better. That might be the one to use, though I could also see an argument for coming off of this ledge straight across, using that for a central pillar to make my arches, and then coming across like into this mountain. You make a walkway going up. You know, that's a lot more expensive than a low bridge down here, but it would be nice to have easier access up this cliff face here. What's probably really going to happen is I'm going to make one like low wooden bridge here, and eventually make a nice big proud stone bridge over there. For now, I kind of just want to get across. Preferably without freezing. Alright, hopefully this ice will hold. Wish me luck, bunnies. Oh, okay. Made it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to actually make that, but let's give it a shot. Nope. Yeah, we're still 98% wet. Whatever. I tried. Oh, look at that. That's so cute. I'm gonna need to replace all those torches. If they aren't already all gone. They probably are. Alright, bunnies, I got some friends for you. And... ready to mate, ready to mate, ready to mate. None of you are pregnant? Doesn't look like it. Okay, can you stop freaking out for a couple seconds? Nope. Alright, I have no idea what kind of sex mix we have here, and hopefully we have enough color overlap to start. I think they might need to be the same color, which would be really unfortunate. I think they might need to be the same color in my version, and I think that has specifically been patched out, because that's really annoying. So I was just in here cleaning out my inventory, and I realized all of our barrels are done. All of our barrels for leather production. And you can see our 4 soaked medium hides have used, actually, quite a bit of our lime water. Now I'm going to take our soaked hides, put a knife in here with them, and that gives us scraped hides. I'll just convert all 4 of them. Scraped hides do not have a perish timer. At this point, we're totally good to go. We can just slap these somewhere into storage. And that is actually what I'm going to do. I like to process my leather in large batches whenever possible. And I'm also... so this one is going to stay our weak tannin. And I'm going to take this one and turn it into our strong tannin. Needs another 24 hours of sealing. But that's quite alright. And where's the rest of our hides? I'm going to need more lime. We have a bunch of mediums and 1 more large. Oh wait, these are pelts. Never mind. Forgot about that. I think they're in here. Yes, there they are. We have 3 larges, which will start to perish in 15 hours in our inventory. So let's hit those first. Okay. So we just sealed in those large raw hides. Oh no, I didn't combine it with this one. That's super annoying. Well, that's on me. We'll start working through our hides though, which I do want to keep in there because they are perishable. And we don't have that expansive of a leather operation, at least not yet. I'll probably want to get a 6 barrel setup going so that I can do 2 different sizes at once at least. I might actually set up a separate line for all 3 sizes. I mean, I could also spin that up as a temporary thing rather than having a static, though I might have 2 static lines. Anyway, that's all down the road planning, because I'm a total weirdo like that. Actually, the weight on all of them is really low. I'm gonna throw more food in here. There's 5? Let's go grab like 15 turnips or whatever. Alright, and now it's time to make it rain on these bunnies. They'll figure that out eventually. I'm gonna be over here, out of sight and out of mind for them, messing around with my inventory, because this is a mess right now, what we've got going on. So we've enormously outgrown this basket for storing our metals. I think I'm gonna start using our rutilated storage vessel because it's very pretty. Oh, that's a lot of galena. That is also an awful lot of copper. Oh, that's right. I forgot about the meat that we got. How much do we have? 9? We could make a meat pie. That's probably a pretty decent thing to make with us, actually. Oh, I forgot it takes 4 dough. Alright, need to make 2 more. And boop. Drop our pie in and settle into watch. Just taking a seat. Oh, it's done. Nice. I'm gonna shove this into here. Fresh for 80 days. And look at that protein satiation. It's craziness. But yeah, fresh for 80 days in here. And if that's not great, I don't really know what is. Oh, those are all done, and I don't think it's been 10 minutes, which means creature weight is decent and good. Oh, I see some is pregnant in here. There's also a is ready to mate. But you know what? Look at that. We're gonna have bunnies. There's gonna be so many bunnies in here. This is gonna be like mildly concerning level of bunnies. Mildly concerning level of bunnies. Yeah, that's pretty normal for Vintage Story. Being honest with you. Alright, it's getting bright again. We have a ton of copper. I'm done doing copper. So what I'm gonna do, open up the map here, and something I haven't really shown yet is that there's filters over here to the left of the world map. Prospect Together is from a mod, which I will be going over in just a moment. Owned Creatures is for a thing that we don't have yet. Don't worry about it. Then there's Terrain, which literally toggles the terrain. I don't know why that's a toggle, but it is. Thanks. Waypoints, which toggles all of your waypoints, which is handy to be able to turn off because if I turn on this prospecting one, two things happen. One, we have a smattering of dots, and that smattering of dots is all of the places that we've taken samples. Yes, there's only 6. I've been very bad about it. And we did like mining over in here too, and and I think maybe in here somewhere? Yeah, I've just been really bad about remembering to take samples. This is where we died, actually. Didn't take a sample there. But in addition to showing these little dots, we also have a drop-down menu. So if I switch this over to Galena, you'll see some of them disappear. And then these two are the only two that have any traces of Galena. They are minuscule and also minuscule. So not a great example, but let's go to Halite here. So 3 light up. You'll note this one is like a slightly better color, like a brighter red. That's because for Halite, there are minuscule amounts. Over here, minuscule amounts. And up here, this is the one we got with 2.53 halite per mil. It's not a great hit, but it's something. Let's do, I think, magnetite, ilmenite? Okay, ilmenite. See how this is like a nice bright color now? That's because we have, well, it's very poor, but it is a reading of ilmenite. But the mod that I have is called Prospect Together. And this, instead of doing the dots, this does squares. And we don't really have a particularly good sampling here, but these squares, once you start to fill them out, will constitute a heat map. So I find Prospect Together a lot simpler to just understand at a glance. And it works much the same way. Over to the right, there's a little window where we can change the display mode between default and heat map. Honestly, default is also a heat map. You can, just like in the vanilla game, you can choose which ores you care about. And you can also do some like sending to between groups of players and stuff to share information on servers. And I've never actually messed with that part. But you can share prospecting data with the Prospect Together mod. That was its original headlining feature, and now it's become a single player staple because it's great. So I want to look for hematite. We've got minuscule, minuscule, and this is also minuscule. Yeah. So not great. No good readings on hematite. We've also got magnetite, minuscule, minuscule. Cool, love it. And the last one is ilmenite. And we actually kind of have a reading of ilmenite. So that's probably going to be our source of ore. I want to take a reading out here because if I switch the filter to everything, you can see that we kind of have like, we have a little like ring here of the samples that we've taken. So if I hit one right here, that's kind of in the middle, we might be able to get a better grasp of what's going on. And realistically, I'm going to be taking my prospecting pick up here, and we're going to be feeling around, and you'll see what that looks like. We've got plenty of space in our inventory. I'm going to drop off this woad just so that we have that room. And I'm still kind of looking around for a rooster, but for right now, I'm going to tuck the cage, one of our cages there. I'm gonna use this door just because. I found a seashell. So, although we kind of recently got clarification that the prospecting pick does not function based on chunk boundaries, it is a persistent myth. Oh. I don't want to have to deal with that bear. I'm probably going to have to deal with that bear. Anyway, it's a persistent myth that the prospecting pick functions on chunk boundaries. It actually doesn't. Instead, the prospecting pick is figuring out the individual column of blocks right where your first sample is taken. Over the course of an entire chunk, the reading doesn't really change that much, so it functionally might as well apply to the whole chunk, but it is specifically that column. However, like I said, kind of irrelevant in practical terms, so the usual wisdom still applies of kind of prospecting in a grid. However, what I like to do is open up the map, and for initial readings, kind of scattershot things around, figure out a rough local high point, and then start going from there. A lot of players will recommend that you try to move chunk by chunk and scan the whole area. What I like to do is skip every other chunk while doing this kind of really, really fast, just prospect an area out. So let's do that. I want to get a little bit more over in this direction. We go. So we have very poor bismuth, very poor magnetite, that's another iron, and we have minuscule amounts of lignite and hematite. Lignite is one of the coals, I always forget which, and hematite is another iron. Okay, so very poor ilmenite, so it has gotten better going in this direction. Let me change this to ilmenite, because that's what we're currently looking for. Change it to heat map mode, and now you can see this chunk is empty because it likely does not contain any ilmenite. This is very dark because it's minuscule. This is also quite dark, and this one's a little bit brighter. Now I'm going to go 2 chunks over to the east again and take another reading because we're having good results in this direction so far. Oh, that's right where I wanted to take samples from. Let's see what we can get away with in the wall then. Nice. Decent ilmenite. Okay, it continues to get higher. You can see that in Prospect Together, the color is becoming much warmer. Well, since this keeps going up, let's go another 2 chunks. And we are now down to very poor ilmenite. So that tells me that we have something of a peak here. I'm going to go back over to this chunk where we got our highest reading. And first I'm going to go to the north. I'm going to do the same thing, 2 chunks to the north. Decent ilmenite, 6.5%, which is, 6.5 per mil, which is a little bit lower. Let's try going to the south now. Go minuscule amounts. Oh, of lignite, decent ilmenite, 0.84 per mil, which I think is our highest. It is by a little bit. I'm gonna see about hitting like this very corner here. Decent ilmenite, 9.8 per mil. It's gonna be like out here in the middle of the thing. That's unfortunate. I find freezing while not being at -6 really annoying, because it just makes the mechanic feel really inconsistent in an unpleasant way. It's like, oh, you take damage when you're freezing. Okay, but I also sometimes take damage from cold when I'm not reaching that threshold. Sometimes it lingers when I've crossed back. Sometimes it goes too quickly. Sometimes it's really delayed. Like, it's not a very consistent mechanic, and that makes it frustrating. We'll put our shell there for now. No, I'll put it on our bookshelf. Now I'm gonna make something a little bit extravagant, perhaps. It is a red clay brick chimney, which I don't need for anything at the moment. But if I take charcoal, and this is from a mod, I can make a smoking red clay brick chimney. And it uses a whole lot of charcoal, but, well, I think it might just be worth it. Yeah, it seems okay, but now we have a working chimney with smoke coming out of it. Look at that. And especially if the wind ever calms down. Though it is nice that this is a windy region, since when we set up a windmill, we'll have plenty of energy to work from. I just want lanterns. I want bees so badly. Okay, so we have the right third of the morning. If I remember right, it's the morning. Oh, this oxblood storage vessel has a really nice color. That's a pretty decent price for it too. Let me confirm that we have the morning. Oh, that's cute up there. The smoke coming out of the roof. Very good. Good vibes. Good energy. And you can't tell. It's up in there. It's like it's right on top of this block. So yeah, you can't even really see it from in here. There's like an errant piece of wood here, but yeah, not a problem at all. I like it. And yes, that is indeed the right third of the morning. Yep, section right third. So let's go get that center third, because that was a good price on that. We have 20 gears. I think it was 9. That's a lot of gears. What are you buying, Adachi? Oh wow, delivery of new goods in less than 1 day. Okay, so that would be the morning. Salvation. Oh yeah, this is one that comes in 4. That's pretty cool. It says ambush, nightfall, and salvation. And how much is this? Oh, this is only 7? Yo, that's actually not half bad. All right, let me buy these. Put up our tapestry. Storage vessel, I'll put into that corner, and I'll deal with that later. Although, I gotta say, nice colors. I like it. Yeah, this is kind of cozy up here. Look at that. Very nice. Are pretty low on gears at this point, though, unfortunately. Look at that. So low potential, 10 gears. We have 9. That would bring us up to 19. We would lose 1 overall, but this is not a very good price. Adachi, be honest with me, it's not a good price. Oh, and it's bright out. We should get going. I only have 2 slices of pie, though. Let me cut up. How's our meat looking? Yeah, okay, let's cut up the meat pie. Because I'm looking at our nutrition information, and our protein is quite low. So we should probably start working on our red meat pie to get some of that back. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'd like to get another sample from the chunk right next door. Decent ilmenite, 0.77. Okay, so it's still more in this chunk. So I'm gonna go down here, down in this chunk next to us to the east. I'm going to clear out a little landing area here. Not a very big one, just big enough that we have some space to put down a fire and store our firewood, that kind of thing. I should have taken the boat over here. Oh well, alright, that's probably good enough. And now we start digging. So I am going to be a little bit cheesy here. I don't love doing this with ladders, the every other thing, but we only have 27. We're honestly a little bit light on sticks still. Alright, I'm going to do a node search here real quick. Every once in a while I'm going to stop and do a node search. No node nearby. That's fine. Still no node nearby, okay. Alright, so we've hit another kind of rock. We're looking for ilmenite, and ilmenite can be found in chert, which this block is, shale, and basalt, which is this dark block. So we are still on the right path. And actually, this is a great time for me to finally mention temporal stability. It's been how many episodes, and we're only finally getting to it now? Anyway, my gear is currently spinning to the left pretty quickly. This kind of happened a couple times, and it happens during temporal storms. It also occurs in temporally unstable regions, which I think this coastline actually is, and being underground will also impact your temporal stability. So as this decreases, we'll start hearing, the spooky temporal sound effects, and eventually enemies will start spawning that we are hallucinating. No one else on the server, if this was a server, would be able to see them. In single player, this is essentially a time limit on being in temporally unstable regions or going mining. Oh, and there's a storm coming. Well, I guess let's keep going on this for now, see if we can find anything. Oh, there's olivine down here. Or chert. Kind of a neat little chamber, though. Doesn't seem to be anything in here, unfortunately, but let's get a sample. Sorry, a node search mode. Just olivine. Alright, so I'm gonna come over here into this corner. Chalk? I mean, that's unfortunately not what I wanted to find back here. What is that rock? Granite. Granite cannot hold ilmenite. So, that's unfortunate. You'll see that now we're back on the surface. Our temporal stability is slowly increasing. Behind the scenes, temporal stability is assigned on a per block basis with a value between 50 and 150. I think it bottoms out at 50. At 100%, your temporal stability is perfectly stable. At over 100%, it will recover, and at under 100%, it will begin to degrade. You unfortunately cannot see that number without a mod, such as this is HUD status continued? Status HUD continued? Something like that. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I'm gonna go over here. Let's try again. No ore node nearby, and we're out of ladders. I think I need to use that last 10 bronze ingot. And that heat map sucks, because it's almost definitely highest right here in the middle of this water, and like mining down there is not particularly feasible. But let's go make that pickaxe, because this one is already down to like a third of its durability left, and we are no closer to having iron. So. Oh, I didn't get wet that time. Let's go. I'm deciding to consciously try to make this a less awful path to walk on by maybe even turning it into a path. Oh no, the temporal storm is imminent and I have not prepared at all. Got so distracted working on this stupid project. Where's our bedroll? Don't we have one? There it is. And here's our hacky door. Oh, he was trying to get in. And we're just gonna sleep through this one, because I did not do any preparing to fight. That's for sure. We only have 2 copper spears, which is not enough, frankly. So, I'm just gonna sleep through this one. I'll see you again in a moment. Alright, now let's see if there's anyone left. I'm not seeing or hearing anything, but I did see that our torches went out. Unfortunately. So let's get those replaced. I want to make another reed chest so that I can have it on my back, because we don't currently have one of those. And I'll plunk that down for a second while I fill it with, I want some grass, firewood. Do we have a fire starter? You know, I might have yeeted it. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? Torch. Well, I just turned our final tin bronze ingot into a pickaxe. So we now have about 1 1/3 pickaxes. And I have a fresh new copper prospecting pick, since ours is getting a little bit lower than I'd like. It's at about maybe 1/3 durability, give or take. So I've made a new one, and I've also made a couple ingots here. One of them is just to have, the other one is to turn into a spear, since we're down one. And I also have some nails and strips, though we won't be dealing with that for a while. Now, I'm just waiting for this copper to solidify, so I'm actually going to go make a second mug of tea. And when I get back, it's going to be head down, hitting the grindstone on prospecting. So I will see you again shortly. I don't know how long I'm going to be gone for, but I'm going to reset the torches just in case we return soon enough. Oh, our strong tannin is done, which means our soaked hides are also done. Alright, we were able to fit 4 in there, and then we'll need to make more lime water. That's alright for now, I guess. Well, it's rather a lot darker than I would have liked it to be, but I think it's time to go. So the plan is to come back up here and really start prospecting out across this grid here. I think I'd like to get this entire well, I guess this is kind of a mountain ridge. I'd like to get this entire mountain ridge covered and then start coming out into here and get this covered as well. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll even find some bees in here. There's some forest up this way that we might head into. Yes, I'm still keeping an ear open for bees. Oh, I just took a little detour. Do you remember our old sleeping spot for the first night or two? This is our cellar of sorts, this little hole. Oh, look at how cute this is. I have half a mind to pick these things up and throw them in our bug out bag, but I think I'm gonna leave them. Maybe at some point we'll come back and build a little hut here, kinda enshrine them as a memory of our humble beginnings. I'm getting like really impressively poor readings the further in this direction I'm going, so I think I'm gonna double back and start going to the east here. Well, while we're in our little hole in the ground, this is our 3rd one of these, I believe, warming up. I believe our tea has cooled down enough. This is Egyptian licorice. And just from smelling it, I can tell that is mostly licorice root, cinnamon, and apparently there's a bit of orange, though I'm not really getting that from the scent. I'm still not really tasting the citrus, but that is really good. That is delicious. I love cinnamon, though. And licorice, so this is... Our shovel has broken, and our first prospecting pick does not have much durability left. And our prospecting is, and I've had better luck in the past. I'll put it that way. Again, it looks like most of our resources are underwater, which is unfortunate. So that's magnetite. How does ilmenite look? You're not really great. And hematite. Yeah, also not really great. Does this get bigger going in this direction, or... Oh no, this is all just minuscule hematite. It doesn't really look like it, but there's a crazy ridge right here. So I can like barely even get into this stretch. Alright, well, good a time as any to get going again. At least I don't have to hold the torch in my offhand anymore. I think this is the last reading with this pickaxe. This pro pick. Yep, it just broke. And decent bismuthinite. I don't care about bismuthinite right now. moving on. This seems like it would be a really cool peak to build something on, like a, you know, those little hermit monasteries? Something like that would be cool up here. The little bridges connecting all the other tops. Is that finally bees? That is not water. We finally have bees. We have bees! Okay, I need to find them now. Where are the bees? I think they're in this tree somewhere. Sounds like it. I'm not gonna be able to see any particles though. I don't think, because it's winter. I'm gonna be really careful poking around in leaves for a beehive. Because if you break the block that they're attached to, they're hanging from the underside of a leaf block. If you break that leaf block, it does destroy the hive and you can't propagate from a destroyed hive. I'm guessing this thing is like really obnoxiously high up in the tree. There it is. Yeah, that's pretty annoyingly high. I want to place a platform under it. I'll go to like here. Is this super janky? Yes. This has been slightly improved in current versions of the game. Remember, I'm on a slightly old version. But this is still, honestly, kind of a dumb mechanic, the way that propagating from beehives works. But you want to build a little platform under it, and the scan range extends lower in new versions of the game. I don't know exactly how low that is. The wiki has not been updated, and the patch notes just said it extends further. So pending additional testing, I'm going to keep putting platforms underneath beehives, and it will accept any flowers. How many spaces is this? 17, so I'm gonna get 16 flowers. One of those will be a skep eventually. And horsetail does count as a flower. Now the gimmick here is that as you place flowers around the hive will eventually refresh its scan to count flowers, and as long as there's enough of them, the population in the hive will begin to grow. Once the population reaches its maximum size, then the colony will seek to populate a nearby skep, and we'll need to provide one of those. Nature does not. But for now, we'll need cattails and clay in order to make a skep. And much like a trapped animal in the vanilla traps, a skep goes into your inventory expansion slots. However, it's the middle of winter, and beehives and skeps do not propagate when it is too cold, and it's definitely too cold right now. So that is, unfortunately, all we can really do with bees at the moment. But at least now we know they're here. We have a little platform prepared. We just have to put the skep there once it gets warm. So, hey, progress. I will take it. I'm genuinely pretty excited about finding bees finally. I've even been up here. I've even been here. Look at this. I've tagged copper. I've tagged resin, mushroom. This horsetail farm I actually tagged. Like, I've been up here before. And speaking of being excited, I'm actually really excited about the lead that we found earlier. Let me pop open the handbook real quick and look up lead. The main thing that we'll be doing with lead is leaded glass windows. Those little kind of diamond pattern windows. Oh, I love them so. They're very aesthetic. And I think these are going to look just gorgeous in all of our buildings. So I'm actually very excited about the lead that we found. Hi, native copper. Well, that's nice. We don't need it right now, but probably be coming back for that. We have found 5 pieces of resin so far, so that's pretty great. Not gonna complain about that for a moment. The nice thing about caves is that I don't have to dig around for spots to prospect. Oh, jeez. Okay, then. Oh, very poor hematite. We have a reading. Okay, it's slightly more than this previous reading, which was also very poor. I didn't even realize. So I'm gonna keep poking around on this little peninsula here. Maybe we can find slightly better reading of hematite. Hematite's 16%, so it's getting higher. Naturally, it's getting higher as it goes off into the ocean. Again. Minuscule, so it has decreased in this direction. Let's try north a bit. Is there a rooster? Yes, that's a rooster. Got him. Ah. We found bees and a rooster and a bunch of resin. So we're a little bit of mixed blessings on this outing. We found some good stuff and we haven't found at all what we actually came out here looking for, which is unfortunate because we're on a little bit of a sort of a time crunch, a resource crunch to find iron. This is actually a great time to mention something that Vintage Story really misses, I feel like, is just how bright it is in the middle of winter at night. All that snow, even if there isn't very much light, all that snow bounces it around like crazy, and you can just like see at night. There are, I suppose, a couple caveats there, but not as many as you might expect. Winter in general, I think, is a little bit of a missed opportunity. Winter and fall. The transition into fall, wonderful. Never seen it done better. But late fall into winter, look at all these leaves. That doesn't happen. If you're getting this kind of snowfall with this kind of leaves on the trees, oh, you better be prepared for a lot of damage. Because all those leaves hold on to the snow and add additional weight that the tree is not equipped to deal with. Minuscule amounts of cinnabar. Ooh, very poor hematite. 0.24 per mil. I think that might be the highest hematite. 14, 16, yeah, 2.3. 2.4, rather. Why do all the deposits have to be out in the damn ocean? Is that more bees? Naturally, now that we have bees, we're gonna find them all over the place, probably right next to the base. I just want to find the bees so I can mark them and just have them in our back pocket in case we should need them. We'll probably be good, but if something should happen to the first hive, you know, it's good to have a backup. And now I'm freezing to death because these are not revealing themselves. There it is. There, and now I should actually be able to find it again if we ever need to come back here for it. But hey, bees! Awesome. Very poor hematite. Okay. So our best reading is still very poor. But I feel like this is also the best reading we've gotten. Alright, so I'm going to come over here to this coast where our highest reading of hematite is. And I'm just going to start digging into here, I guess. Again, kind of wish I'd brought a door, but didn't. This is a bit of a shot in the dark, if I'm being honest. Cassiterite and bismuthinite. Trace amounts. It's tin and bismuth. Alright, let's keep going for a little bit here. Well, we're real close to the bismuth and tin. but unfortunately I kind of don't care about either of those things. I mean, I guess the tin would keep us in bronze, right? Medium and trace, so that means it's around here somewhere. Let's see if we can find the direction. So the north medium, let's go south. See, now I'm using node search to try and zero in on the location of the vein. Okay, large amounts of bismuth. Well, let's go over in that direction. Large bismuth in that direction. Large cassiterite in this direction, and we're more interested in the cassiterite at the moment. Because this pickaxe is about to go, and we have another one. And this prospecting pick is already halfway done. Jeez, okay. And there it is. That's the tin ore. Cassiterite is down to small amounts. And how much did we get? Got 25 medium chunks of cassiterite, which is, it's like 250 units? That's something. That's not terrible, actually. Yeah, that's actually not too bad at all. Still not what we came out here for, but that's the process at least. Decent cassiterite, poor magnetite. Okay. Very poor magnetite. Excellent. But is it higher? It is a little bit higher. Okay. Ooh, very poor magnetite, but it's a quarter of a per mil. That is our highest reading yet. So this is magnetite that we're looking at now? Yeah, look at that. Okay, let's keep exploring then. Magnetite 0.19, so now it's down rather a lot. All right, let me go over here then. Ooh, very poor magnetite, but it's 0.42. That is super high compared to the readings we've been getting. I'm gonna go to the east again and see what the reading we get there is. Now it's down to 14. Okay. I see. There's a cave right below me. Magnetite 0.23. So this is still by far our highest at the moment. Magnetite 0.19 per mil. Okay. So that's our highest reading, and it's very poor. Cool. I'm dying rather a lot quicker than I realized, so I'm gonna head home and get something to eat and also warm up. I'm gonna make so many pies when we get home. And hopefully we can make it home. With 2 sources of continuous damage, it's a little bit hairy. Yep. Oh, that's Coppersburg over there that you can just about see. That's cute. Ultra high native copper. Ooh. Might come poking around in this cave then, at some point. Just out of curiosity, this is our basalt mine. So I'm gonna see what kind of reading we have here. Very poor emerald and minuscule amounts of bismuth. Alright. Nothing I need to worry about then. Hey Adachi. Bye Adachi. Now that we're home, let's figure something out with our inventory. Let's see if we can refill partial potion flasks. Where is it? Here. Yes, we can. Oh, wait. Oh, that emptied it. And now I can fill the whole thing. Okay, that works. It's functionally the same. So now we have 32 compost, which is enough for a quarter of one of these greenhouses. And it increases nitrogen, so we won't actually be using this year. But let me go ahead and store it, because we should keep working on making more, slowly building up rot. There's a couple of more things that are going. Now I kind of made a mistake earlier. I probably shouldn't have broken down all of the chunks of copper that we got, because when you break them down, they break into a lot more pieces. So I'm actually just going to throw the chunks of cassiterite right into storage. And let me get the other bits of cassiterite that we have down here, just to keep them all together. Oh, how are our sheep going? Ready to mate. You're generation 1, okay. You're also ready to mate. You're generation 0, though. Well, anyway, I'm gonna give these chickens their new friend. There you go. And now we can finally get this trap out of our inventory. I know that's been bothering a couple of you. Let's see, did I put our horsetail in our little apothecary workshop? No? Really? Okay. I need a horsetail. Here they are. I'm gonna grab the whole stack and I'll probably just keep it up there, especially since that's where I looked for it. I believe we have a bunch of horsetail growing as well, but it's the middle of winter, so... Right, it's time for some grinding. I'm gonna go warm my tea up while this goes. This time I'm putting in all 6 logs because we're making some pies. 8 of them. Because I don't feel like continuing to struggle to have food in my inventory. And we unfortunately have more prospecting to do. Alright, well that's 1 pie cooking. I'm gonna get the rest of these all pre-made. And I am stacking these on a pie shelf, which is from one of the mods we have installed. Food shelves or sensible storage, I forget which. Mission warm up my tea without diluting it too much. Successful. Look at that. That's a lot of pies. I wanted to see something. Can I slice these while they're on the shelf? No. Okay. Alright, 20 slices of pie for our inventory. We have 3 home pies. I probably could have left one of them around there. Whatever. So I think it's safe to say we're going to need to make another prospecting pick. This one is already down to 50 durability. This pickaxe is almost done, though we do have a spare of those at least. But yeah. I usually try to present these as seamlessly as possible, but I'm sitting down for day 3 of recording. New mug of tea. Cheers. It's a repeat, so you're not getting the whole song and dance. Just wild sweet orange that I've had, I think, 2 times before already, so it's a favorite. But I've had well and truly enough of this iron hiding from us, and I intend to change that. So I'm going to pick up all of the torches from around Coppersburg because they are going to go out. We've got a ton of pie in our inventory. We are good to go on a long journey. So I'm just doing this final bit of preparation. Oh, and I just remembered 2 other things I wanted to do today. One, the soaked hides are done. Just gonna get those scraped, and I will toss them into our storage for the time being. We have any more lime? Yes! So we could make another 20 liters of lime water, and you know what? I feel like we might as well. And I do plan on doing something about this. This is disgraceful, what's happening here. I agree. Toss that in, and sweet. Do we have any more leather to put in? Sorry, any more raw hides to put in here? Not a rush, but I'll grab this one because it's the lowest and throw it in. And I wanted to do one other thing. Grab a stack of parsnips, and we're gonna feed some animals with it. Oh, look, there's bunlets! They're maybe hard to see, but there's a bunch of bunlets in the corner there. I think that might be 4 there, and that's number 5. Hey, that's not half bad. It looks like most of them have a couple days before they're ready to mate again, so I will leave them be. But over here... So first off, the chickens and rooster. Wait, can you not put... Do you have to put grain in the troughs? Huh, I don't think I knew that. I'm gonna grab... Where's some flax? There we go. Which we'll hopefully have much more of next year. Alright, I'm gonna fill both of these. Oh no, bighorn sheep do eat out of this. Well that's unfortunate. I think I'm gonna have to separate them again. That's kind of annoying. Well, I'll figure that out another time. For right now, it is bright outside, nice and early in the morning. I think I have all of our torches. Sip of my tea. Let's get going. Something that a lot of people will do when they get into this situation is they will run with mostly using a copper pickaxe, and they'll save the bronze one for when they find their iron. Totally makes sense. Not a bad way to do it. I don't have a particularly good reason for not doing it. I really enjoy how Vintage Story handles bodies of water freezing over. How it seems to propagate from the sides. I just think it's really neat. Because, yeah, that's how it works. And you just don't always see that accurately portrayed in games. I would like to make it clear that the style of prospecting I'm doing here, where I'm going every other chunk, is not the fastest way to find resources. That would be ranging far and wide and hitting really random shot. Like really random scatter shot all over the place. But I'm a methodical weirdo, so... Ultra high bismuthinite. Oh. Well, I think I know what's going to come up in the scan here. Would kind of like a normal rock though, please. Oh, there's quartz in here too. What in the world? Minuscule native copper. Oh, there's some decent bismuthinite. Sphalerite and cinnabar. Well, I will definitely tag that copper. Very poor halite. Ooh. And high sphalerite. So sphalerite is actually pretty useful to us. That's the current filter that I have on the Prospect Together heat mapping, but sphalerite is used with copper to make brass. And brass can be used to make torch holders, which are an infinite light source. They're not as bright as lanterns, but I wouldn't have to keep swapping them in and out all the time. I actually like the warmer glow of torches as well, because this game has colored lighting. You might not have noticed it, but it does. You can actually put colored glass into your lanterns, but torches are warmer than oil lamps or lanterns, both of which are a very white. And torches are quite warm. Ooh, ultra high sphalerite. Hey, I'm not looking to grab it right now, but I'm not going to complain about finding that. I am going to complain about how much I'm freezing to death. That is significantly higher sphalerite. That's awesome. And yes, I know I could light things on fire randomly, but I'm not particularly keen on that strategy. It just seems like a little bit too much risk for me. I'm a rather risk-averse individual. Let my bias be known. There's like a whole field of sphalerite over here. This is kind of great. Yeah, and don't need it right now, but I'm not turning my nose up to knowing it's here. It's like everything but iron in plentiful amount. No, they're all very poor. I'm just being salty. Oh no, this Pro Pick has one more durability. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a reading out of it, because I don't think it carries over. It says one more sample. Let's find out what happens. Yeah, it needs 2 more samples again. Okay. Nice and early in the morning, so we can just about take a look at this lake here. A shallow lake that's slowly freezing over. There's another lake off in that direction as well. We can't see it with this early morning fog. One thing that's really unfortunate is how the sky doesn't really accept fog properly, unfortunately. That's a weird deferred rendering thing, because the sky is actually being composited in after everything else is rendered, so that is being laid on top. In some sense, the sunrise that we're seeing is actually the closest thing to us. I think I want to get over to this stretch, so I'm going to try jumping across here. Oh no. Yep, I'm wet now. Dang it. Ooh, bituminous coal. I think that's our first time seeing that one. Ilmenite! Very poor ilmenite! Very poor halite at 8%. You know what? I am not at all opposed to seeing higher readings from halite. Again, not going for it right now, but not going to complain. Alright, that was ilmenite that we got our reading for. Interesting. That's the first one we've gotten in this area. I'm going to come over here to the east and see what we've got. And that almost looks like it could be a crater right there. So I might as well check that out too. Not a crater. That's a cave, which makes my job rather easy. Minuscule ilmenite. The bituminous coal is higher, and the halite is 6.5%. Or sorry, per thou. I think we might have halite around here, which is pretty sweet. Oh, this is actually just coming out of a random spot. Okay. Sure. I mean, why not? I really thought I was going to be able to make it across the lake without falling in. I'm just staring at the burnt out torches in our inventory like, ah, that's on me. Got no one else to blame for that one. It's my vintage story and I'll fail if I want to. Halite, 9.5 per thou. There is a not insignificant number of people who are very excited about that. I bet if you were to scroll down, you could find them in the comments right now. It is genuinely pretty exciting. That's salt. And salt is one of those resources that like every player kind of wants to get. Every player wants to mess around with salt and various kinds of food preservation that enables, such as cheese. But finding the resources for it, finding that halite, that can be the hard part. And we are getting an excellent head start once we are ready to start working with halite. I mean, I could grab some right now. It's just that iron is more pressing of a concern to me. I really, really want to get into iron before we run out of tools. Although we found a ton of cassiterite, if it comes to it, we can make more tin. Sorry, if it comes to it, we can make more bronze. So we are no longer in danger of sliding back in tier. But I would still like to, you know, go forward. Oh, magnetite. And not a minuscule amount. Okay. Alright, so where was this getting bigger? No. It stayed pretty low over here. Well, maybe there's some over here then. Oh, and down here is Snake Tongue Cave, named so by a viewer. That has our translocator in it. The only one we found so far, surprisingly enough. We do have 3 temporal gears in order to repair it, but I don't have them with us, so we won't be making that journey today. Oh, look at the snow. This is one thing that winter actually does do, this like kind of constant fogginess of everything. It's because the snow hangs in the air. It's not fog, but there's just so much white stuff in the air that it kind of feels like it's constantly foggy. But it's actually just the snow hanging. Although now that I've given Vintage Stories Winter a compliment, I have to make a small complaint. I recently, as in earlier today, was outside and there was a ton of frost covering everything. And the way frost and snow sparkles, it's one of those things that like, it's super important to, that's so many bunnies. It's one of those things that's like super important to how winter feels to actually experience. There's so many little details like that. Magnetite 0.19, is that higher? Yes, that is like double. Okay, well, let's keep going north. And maybe I won't even spook those bunnies. I just heard a trader from somewhere to my right. I can't possibly be hearing this one. So there's a trader somewhere in this forest. That's kind of spooky. Magnetite 0.23, so it continues to rise. I'm hearing that trader more. Where is this guy? Oh, there it is. It was really close. And And how are you escaping my notice on the map? Look at you. Oh, yep, there it is. About half of it is underneath trees. Will I come to you bearing burnt out torches? What kind of trader are you? What's your name, my very cold friend? Vlad! What do you have to trade? A furniture trader. So I could buy lanterns. Ooh, I can buy paintings from you. Sleek doors. These are useful for interior spaces that they don't seal rooms. But if you don't care about a space being a room, sleek doors have a window in them, which is pretty nice. What I've seen some people do is make kind of mud rooms with solid doors on the inside and sleek doors on the outside. But since the mud room is lit, it is, at least theoretically, safe. So you can open up the solid inner doors and you walk into the mud room, which is not a room, so it's cold and what have you. You know, all those mechanics apply, but you can look out the window and make sure there's nothing there, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. He's also selling lanterns. Oh, wow, this one's only 6? Oh, that's really tempting considering how, you know, we are. And we can just sell linen to you? That's really good considering I'm planning on like mass producing flax like you would not believe. We're going to need so much flax. We're going to need a ton of flax for a couple things, and then our flax needs are going to absolutely fall off a cliff. So selling them for gears sounds perfect. Because there won't be any reason to grow less flax, but that'll be really useful. We're gonna be coming back, Vlad. So you are Vlad the furniture trader. Let's get you marked on the map. For now, have a good one, and maybe invest in a door. Something about this pond feels very cute. I'm not sure what it is. There we go. Magnetite, 0.25. That is up from our last reading. Let's go see what's going on under these mushrooms. I would be kind of careful now, wandering into the forest. You know, visibility is poor. What? Were there 2 of them? Alright, well, that's super annoying. They're camping my body now. Cool, I love this. If I could please shut up. Holy crap. Oh, I seriously drop the chest every time I make the pain noise. This is infuriating. What is actually the deal with this spot? Like, what is going on? That's a bear. Are you kidding right now? Alright, back to work. Let's finally prospect here. Is why we came here in the first place. You might be annoyed at me for digging this hole here, because you can't see anything. Don't worry, I can't see anything either. Wouldn't do anything to you I wouldn't do to myself. Magnetite 0.19 again, so it's getting lower. Beefsteak fungus. That's a name. And now we're down to minuscule magnetite. Well, wasn't really a high enough reading ever for me to want to bite. Oh, we're back to minuscule magnetite. Well, I'm gonna try heading south across this isthmus. Isthmus? That's a weird word. Who puts an S and a TH together? I'm gonna head out across this and take readings the whole way. Hopefully we'll find something. Very poor magnetite. Maybe we're getting closer to something. Why are all of the iron deposits in this world apparently underwater? This sucks. Sucks like a lot. I'm gonna just like run out to the west for a ways and ping one in the middle of nowhere and just see what we get. Very poor magnetite. I think that might be our highest reading ever of it though. 0.28? But yeah, 0.28 does appear to be the highest we've ever gotten. Oh, here's 0.42, which is still very poor. Love it, love it. Well, I guess I'll feel around out here then. Magnetite 5.2, that is now actually our highest magnetite reading, and it's showing as poor instead of very poor. This is a huge upgrade. Okay, I'm gonna keep going west. Magnetite has gone down like pretty aggressively in this direction, so I'm gonna double back and go to the north. Magnetite 0.56, which is up from our highest reading. I'm gonna go one more then, see if we can get lucky. And I do just want to be very clear that even a very high reading is not a guarantee that whatever resource is actually in that area is in that column. It is specifically column after all. So even once we maybe find it, we haven't actually found it until we can see the ore directly in front of us. Magnetite 0.46, so now it's decreasing. Magnetite 0.58, I think that is higher. Magnetite 0.46. So I think it might be starting to go down again. Poor magnetite 0.36. Alright, this is definitely the high point, so I'm gonna go back to that hole and we're gonna do a little digging. And bismuthinite trace amounts. Well, we don't need bismuth right now. If we run into it, that's fine, but I'm not specifically gunning for it. Large amounts of galena. Was that even in the reading? It is very poor galena. So there is galena down this hole. I guess that's handy to know. And there it is. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a pin on that galena, because why not? But otherwise, I'm getting out of here. Oh wow, look at this ruin. Let's head over here in that direction while prospecting. I kind of just want to see something interesting at this point, you know? Ruin would be a nice change of pace. Oh, snow blindness, very well simulated on that front. So, where am I looking right now? I'm looking out across this lake, so that ruin actually is... Oh, would you look at that? That is a substantial one. I'm shaking all over, but that is a substantial ruin. That's where I'm gonna make my way to. Nothing, okay. Very high sphalerite. Alright, that's pretty sweet. Ultra high sphalerite. Okay. Torch holders, here we come. Eventually. Well, this ruin looks pretty cool, I have to say. I think we're gonna have some fun exploring it. Actually. Oh, I thought that was a cracked vessel. But unfortunately, I'm gonna end the episode there. I already have more than twice as much footage as I usually do for an episode, and I really wanted to end this with finding iron, or maybe even processing it. Originally, that was the plan. But I want to be able to get an episode out for you guys, because I know it's already been a long time, so I'm gonna call it there. Again, thank you all so much for hanging out. Hopefully, even though we weren't successful in finding iron, there were enough examples that now you know how to prospect for things yourself. So thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, have a great one. Well, that was neat. It was just another eclipse.